The week narrows, the lights sharpen, and Barcelona's pre-season, that long, slow relay of fitness drills, tactical rehearsals and friendly showpieces, comes to its last stop on Sunday night with the Joan Gamper Trophy. Think of it as a dress rehearsal with an audience, fans filing in like a hush before an orchestra begins, jerseys rustling, voices warming up for the real symphony that is La Liga. This year, the visiting ensemble will be Como, the Soria side, and the game is billed as the final test before the league opens later this month. There's a particular human twist stitched into the fixture. Sergi Roberto, a name that for years meant a Barcelona to many, is now wearing Como's shirt after leaving the club. A living reminder that careers cycle and loyalties can be tested in the space of 90 minutes. The players on both sides will feel it, the grass underfoot, the stadium lights cutting through the humid night air, and the quiet thrum of expectation that comes before the whistle. It's not just a friendly, it's a small theatre where history and future briefly share the stage, and everyone is waiting to see the first scene unfold. Cubarsi, the young centre-back who has edged his way into conversations about Barcelona's next generation, could not hide his joy about being part of the Joan Gamper. Presenting ourselves to the fans at Joan Gamper is always something special, he said with a grin you could almost hear in his words. The tone in his voice, enthusiastic, slightly awed, tells you how much the ceremony matters. To stand before your people, to be applauded, to show the work that has been done in silence. Cubarsi also spoke warmly about familiar faces returning to the fold in unexpected ways. Sergi Roberto, whom he trained with in his early years in the first-team environment, a player he credits for helping him. And Cesc Fabregas, a midfield name he used to watch on television and now sees back on the pitch in a visiting role. Those small human connections, a shove here, a word of advice there, are the understated scaffolding of a squad's culture. On the matter of readiness, Cubarsi sounded reassuringly practical. Pre-season has been productive, they've worked hard, and the Joan Gamper offers a final chance to push a little harder before the competitive rhythm begins. He framed the match as an opportunity to translate training into teeth, to test the muscle memory and tighten the screws, and then launch into the real matches confident and sharp. That sense of forward motion is tempered by change. Cubarsi will be forming a new defensive partnership this summer as veteran Inigo Martinez is set to leave for Almeza, a reminder that even in optimism there is turnover and the need to adapt. Alejandro Balde's remarks picked up the same optimistic melody and layered in his own urgency. For Balde, the Como matches are special not just in ceremony but in meaning. The last run out of a pre-season that has, in his view, prepared the group for the league's opening pages. He spoke like someone who can feel the season in his bones, eager to sprint from the starting blocks to lift his level and pull the team with. When the conversation turned to Sergi Roberto, Balde's voice softened with respect. He called Como a very good opponent, and said that Sergi's presence adds a personal dimension to the contest. They share a great relationship, he noted, which will make the fixture a rare blend of competitive edge and friendly familiarity. Picture Balde on the pitch, the quick left-footed bursts, the slide of studs over turf, and you can imagine him treating this last pre-season night as a springboard, not an endpoint. He spoke openly about ambition. He cannot wait for the new season, he wants to elevate his game, and he believes this campaign can be amazing. A phrase that rings like a promise when coming from someone still climbing his own ladder. It's the energy of a player who wants to grow and help the club chase every available title, who hears the roar in the stands and replies with the language of performance. Taken together, the interviews sketch a club at a hinge, young players stepping up, old names returning on unfamiliar shirts, veterans moving on to new pastures, and the whole squad testing its readiness for a long testing campaign. The Joan Gamper Trophy, in this telling, is less a mere friendly and more a ceremonial gateway, a place where preparation is displayed, relationships are acknowledged, and a team says to itself, "We are ready." The sensory background is easy to imagine. The thud of the ball, the barked instructions from the bench, the smell of cut grass and stadium coffee, the cool press of evening air as 1,000 voices tune into a single tempo. Yet under those ordinary sounds are the subtler noises of change, a locker room shuffle, a farewell handshake with Inigo Martinez as he moves toward Al Nassr, the rustle of pages as strategy meets reality. These are the small dramas that make the opening of a season feel purposeful instead of perfunctory. So when the whistle blows on Sunday, it will be more than the end of pre-season. It will be a question posed loudly and clearly to the team. Who are you now, and how will you answer the season ahead? Will the newcomers mesh seamlessly with the established core? Can the youthful hunger of players like Cubarsi and Balde translate into steady performance across a long league fight? And what will it feel like to play against a familiar figure, Sergi Roberto, who once wore your colours and now tests them from the other side? The answers begin to arrive in moments. A tackle, a pass, a saved shot. And by the time the final whistle comes, we'll have the first small verdicts. Until then, the stage is set, the fans are waiting, and the players, sharpened by months of preparation, are ready to turn possibility into the opening act.